Y'all ready?
Oh,
Did we short or long rest at the end of last session?
Yeah.
You, I don't think, have rested.
Okay.
Can we?
Because you all were...
We were still in pursuit, weren't
Yeah,
we?
No,
we
we're,
were
we're,
like
we're in a
dying.
little magic bubble, watching like a smoldering hole in the side of a castle.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Are the amulets currently are not even on someone, or are they?
They would have been on Mikhail.
Yeah, so there, he gave it to you really quick.
Oh, he started getting. Oh yeah, he jumped really high for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, and then everyone was
And
able
we-
to bring him back
What
down.
is this
And we pulled him
smoldering
back.
hole? I don't remember that.
Oh, he was levitating
Yeah.
because of the amulets.
Smoldering.
Okay.
There is an explosion. We don't know. Do we know?
Yeah,
cause
so
of it?
you all reached, and let me know if you remember something differently, because my brain is old and full of dust.
What is the smoldering hole?
What's that?
What's the smoldering hole?
Yeah, so you all entered the palace complex. Yeah. Smoldering holes. You all entered. What'd you guys do Friday night? so
do
smoldering
every
holes, guys. So you entered the palace complex, and from what I remember, where you've gotten, I think, so far is you went inside. You saw that a portion of the building, kind of by the, I think where the elves knew.
Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, like so Louis Vuitton had disappeared into the complex. A portion of the building where kind of the higher, wealthier people would have stayed. It's kind of like, it's sort of like this Versailles square up there, and it's kind of on the far end. There's this globe of orb-like light that seems to be kind of charged with energy, into the fact where like the building, like kind of touching its borders, seems to be evaporated, and right outside of it there's like kind of licks of flame going up around it. So it's sort of like this very high energy kind of sphere has been just burst into life in the middle of this building.
What's the smoldering hole? That's the smoldering hole?
Yeah, that's like kind of like,
I don't know that at all. Okay.
yeah. So there's this burn thing going down. Y'all had gone in so far, and if I remember correctly, wow, my computer feels like it's going to be like a rocket ship. It's its dream to overheat and be a rocket ship. Rocket ship.
The stands just went down again.
I don't think that was a successful
Did I
endeavor.
fail, guys? Did I fail? Did it feel bad, man?
Landing gears have failed.
We're going down, boys. Boys and
We
girls.
can focus on. You tried hard.
I mean, hey
You
guys,
look
that's
cute
what
doing it.
matters. If you try real
You
hard.
look cute.
You try real hard, great things can happen. So, yeah, you all had come in pursuing the Louvitar, or Louviton, as some of you kindly named him.
Yes, that's much easier.
And yeah, you came in on this scene. I think you talked briefly, because you saw the elf queen, Salam, coming out of the building, and you, I think, negotiated with her to give you the orb.
She had me hold it under the requirement that I stay very close to her.
Okay.
What is that called? Should I add that to my inventory?
Yes. So, what would be the right?
I assume most of the stuff that we're adding to inventories are just custom items, because I have like...
Yeah, that's fine. For D&D Beyond, unless you buy the actual additional stuff for this campaign, most of them will be custom items, and most of them are things I've just made up. So they'll all be, a lot of them will be custom items. So we've deviated from the core of this a little bit, just a smidge. But I think that will be it'll be probably the orb of
Pending?
balance. The orb of pending. The orb of balance.
Okay.
And yeah, so you have that in your possession. She is staring up at this kind of massive globe of light. And she says, "I've never seen magic before like this. It must be they've taken some of the items off the delegates." And you kind of hear this, like, and then the globe opens up, like, kind of toward the front. You see two figures there. You see a Louvitar on the left, and then one of them that you don't recognize on the right. Or actually, sorry, you do recognize. It's you notice the gentleman from the tower. The wind tower, many moons ago, Silas is there.
Wait, is that something we threw off the edge of the tower?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
he
he
died.
controls the wind, so...
For sure
He
died.
died off screen.
Yeah, he died off.
Yeah. Everyone knows.
Yeah, play double tap, guys. Come on, we all been over this before.
So am I within earshot when I hear her say that they must have taken some of the items off the delegates?
Yeah. So she's come up to you guys, and because of the presence of that orb, she is staying very close to him, and he is staying very close to you.
What did he say?
I just want to look around sheepishly when she says that. What? They would do that? Wow.
Who does
Terrible.
such things?
It's terrible.
Heathens. That's what
What's
they are.
the radius of the orb again? 30 feet.
It's
in
about
each
30
direction?
feet. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we didn't short rest either.
No.
So
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are.
Yeah. All I know is you guys got in a big fight last time. I stayed back with the legless dude, came in and cleaned house, and ended up perfect health. So.
yeah, that's full health too. I didn't realize we were both out of that fight.
Yeah, we were about out of that fight.
Wait, so what does this magic do?
She says, I only know of legend, but it is said to awaken a great power. The magic in these items the delegates were carrying. We tried to mask as much of the information from even the other peoples. The dwarfs, the humans, everyone was operating under some discretion, as you might say. But unfortunately, it seems there was a leak, after all.
So like a
And
nice
you hear
power
a...
that
Oh,
wants to
sorry.
help us?
What's that?
So like a nice power?
A nice
A
power?
nice power? Or a friendly power?
Not to life, as we at least know it, I would say.
Mm.
It's a land ruled by elements, as I believe its ultimate end. But whoever harnesses it may be able to bend its power to their will. So as you...
If Mikhail were here, he would want that.
Huh?
If Mikhail were here, he would want that.
Yes, he would,
And
definitely.
power to his will.
Bend the power to his will. So as you all are talking, you see one of the... did you guys roll stealth at all coming in here?
No, I'm rolling stealth right now.
I thought that somebody cast.
Mm-hmm.
Or,
So we'll give you all a gimme. Everybody... Oh, yeah. So somebody said, yeah, pass without a trace. You
Yeah,
did.
So that gives us
When we
plus.
came in here?
I think a little while ago, if I remember.
what does that give us?
I think it's
A successful stealth check.
It's
Oh, okay.
or does
Technically, it's a plus 10
bonus.
bonus.
Plus 10.
Okay.
So should we roll on?
Yeah, go ahead and roll,
Oh,
and,
it's a good
and
thing we
we'll,
had that plus 10.
we'll give you guys pass without a trace.
13.
with the plus
With your
Yeah.
modifier?
17. Yep.
22.
25.
Okay.
27.
So you're 13.
Oh, actually plus my skill. So let me see. Plus 18.
Then I'll roll for... Alright. So yeah, you all stealth successfully. And then as you are kind of pushing back towards the wall, you hear Silas's kind of very sharp voice say, I sense it's close. Search the building. And you see Iluvatar start marching through the building, and he's kind of stretching his hands out, like towards each wall, and walls are kind of bursting open, like with these like various bubbles of light, and they're just kind of crumbling like away. So he's like, and there's like certain items are remaining suspended for a moment, like jewelry and things are like remaining. So he like will open up kind of a sphere in the wall. The walls will vanish. Everything will crumble except for a few items of jewelry, and then they'll fall. And he's kind of going down the row of the building, just busting open the walls.
Do we don't still have an amulet, do we?
Yeah, we have two.
Oh, we do. I thought they. Okay, fine. Okay, for some
Oh, yeah,
reason
yeah.
I thought you took them from us.
Do we understand
Mhm.
that these amulets are causing destruction and that we have them and that those are those amulets? Is that understood by the group?
I think Mikhail gave you all some info about
Yeah.
the fact that the
I remember
amulet.
We also had the warning from the people under the truth zone that they were bad.
Mhm.
And we saw him take the like dwarves' legs and shit like that, right?
Yeah, so you guys were, I think, complicit with Mikhail in that process, right?
But we're not telling the queen
I
right now
don't
that
think
those
that we
amulets are
could have
those.
stopped him if we tried.
Also true.
We
I-
would've
but
done
we're
it
not-
with
we're not
the
gonna
axe,
tell the
if not
queen about
amulet.
that.
Yeah, we
And
don't
I
have
think-
to. We don't have to mention that we know anything to the queen. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I've got a
Maybe we
few
should.
pretty necklaces. I don't know about you guys.
So go ahead and roll a quick deception. Whoever's holding it. Just the person who's holding it. Oop, well, she rolled a net one.
So
She
I
trusts
rolled
you.
a 25.
Okay. She leans over and she says, "They're searching for it. We must get it away from them as quickly as possible. It'll soon hear its brother's call, despite my orb's influence."
How do we destroy them?
She, in the fires of Mount Doom. I'm just kidding.
The vibe
No.
I'm getting.
No, she says,
Whoever's wearing them.
what's that?
Murder whoever's wearing it.
Yeah.
I mean,
She says, "We, as the delegates, did not have a means of easy destruction. That's why the party was forged, to bury it and lock the power away for the foreseeable future, for eternity,
I mean,
if we could."
is this your this is your cat? Is this your castle, right?
It is indeed my
Wow.
domain.
Well, if this is your castle. You have to have. I mean, I would imagine that someone as forward-thinking as you would have a quick escape route through which we could vanish if need be.
Yes, at the far end of the castle there is a path through the building, but she looks up where the two,
Had to be at the far end, didn't it?
unfortunately, there are. But behind us we can retreat back to the streets, but if they find the amulet, that is not a situation I can allow. And she starts walking forward to seemingly confront Silas, and Paddington stands like
Paddington's still here.
looking
Okay,
very surprised.
He was hanging out at the castle because
Yeah.
he found some other good
Oh,
looking
he
dog.
found
She's the queen salon of
not
the elven
Alara.
people.
Okay, I was gonna say Alara.
Lara's
Yeah.
dead.
I'm
It's
gonna
written
scurry
by
along
Ruby's name.
behind her because
Yeah.
I've got the orb and I sort of agreed.
Yeah. So you take a run behind her, and she says, "Stay low." And you see as you're going through the garden, there's a lot of cover, right? Because it's a Versailles type square. Lots of kind of bushes. That tent that they were meeting in earlier. So if you want to remain stealthed, you can. But you may have to do another check to make sure that you can stealth while you are moving silently with her.
Is that with the plus 10?
Yes, that's right.
Good. 18.
Okay, so you just remain stealth, but you see her call out to Silas and say,
Oh, she's not very stealthy.
"Huh?
She's not very stealthy. Okay.
No, yeah." So she says,
That was not the plan.
"Yeah." She says, "You will leave, Forgotten One. You are in my domain." And as she lifts a hand up in the building, you see some of the building shutter, and the glass from a bunch of windows just shatters around her, or shatters around the square and starts rocketing towards Silas. But with a wave of his hand, you see the glass kind of dissipate, and you hear him laugh and say, "Ah, the last defender of a forgotten people. I will be..."
Well.
Yeah. And he says, "I'll be very happy to make your passing much more swift." And you see him stretch out a hand and whisper something, but the orb in your hand grows very hot suddenly, and nothing happens to her.
Kills the germs. That's good.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
You're
Basically.
touching it? Someone else probably touched that.
Well, I mean, it just burned down. Whatever that was. Whatever was there, we're good.
Yeah. So then he says, so you do have the amulet. And then he jumps down and starts walking towards her. And,
She doesn't though.
huh?
She doesn't have an amulet.
But he thinks
He
she...
thinks something
That's what's
protected her.
protecting
It's
her.
the orb that he thinks is an amulet.
So I'm just gonna take a quick look around while
Yeah.
this is going on, just scoping out the exits,
Yeah,
just in case.
good idea. So you see a big front archway, the one that you all entered through. You see Iluvatar still kind of making his way through the rooftop, kind of the higher floor, just burning through wall, and kind of the roof is starting to sag in. It's he's really done a lot of destruction on the building. And you see kind of in the garden area, there's low shrubs, a few kind of what would be a kind of almost was shrubs, a garden maze you would see, kind of but shorter. The initial tent you all met with the different people in, and and a few what looks like kind of little stairways down on either side to maybe what would be like the eastern, western kind of wings of the building.
Can I try and flank this guy just to kind of like, because he's on one side, just kind of like go kind of behind him, obviously still stealth.
Yeah. Give me another stealth check.
With the plus 10.
Yeah, you all still have the pass without trace.
28. Nice.
Okay. You
Just
so I'm gonna go ahead. I think I had actually drawn it out. Where I did it, we do not know. I think it's here. Oh, what did I? Maybe? Yeah, there we go. That's different. Okay, I'll get a fresh piece of paper, and we'll draw it out. All right. Okay. So, put this over Mia. Put that over Mia. So you all are in this kind of massive square. You just came in through the front gate. You're seeing.
it's hard.
Feels bad. So yeah, this is kind of the building. You see Silas, so the lady is, the lady is here. Silas is here, and he's kind of coming down. He's like levitating his way down, and Iluvatar is busting through the walls here. And most of the party is here. You are close to her, among like kind of these like bushes and these like little garden square things. So you're pretty close, having been covered here. Where do you need to be? So the rest of the party is kind of where this D20 is right now.
So we wanted to go around behind him? Well, I'm pretty stealthed, right? So I guess
Yeah.
I can kind of take this side since he's kind of over there and
Okay.
just kind of be by those bushes.
And you're trying to get close to.
I'm just trying to be there in case something goes down so that I
And
can
this-
flank him and maybe get a
And
surprise
this
attack
is a
in.
big square. So this is about a 10-foot square.
Okay. Okay.
So we got a big area to work with. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that as close as I can? Are there like bushes that are closer?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can get pretty close to her.
Cool.
So is that Silas right here?
That's
Or-
right. That's
or
Silas right
where's
there.
Luvatar?
He's upstairs.
He's going around
He's
this
just
kind of wing, just ripping through
Pulling like a
walls and
Kylo
stuff,
Ren
yeah.
and just destroying everything, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
Pretty much.
Tantrum.
Throwing a
Yeah.
tantrum. Yeah. All right. Cool.
But yeah,
Relates
but
to his character. Yeah.
yeah.
When we left the dwarves, I forgot what happened. Did we take away the legs of like all of the useful people, or?
Well, most of the dwarves stayed behind, I think, because they were on their way leaving town because they knew that they were betrayed and set up
Okay.
by somebody. So
Well, we
they-
ran to here from where we found them, so it is within
Mhm.
running distance.
That's true. Yeah. So it would be maybe like a 20-minute run, but you guys ran. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. You ran through town in pursuit of Lou Vitar. Yeah. So he kind of led you
Call
here.
him Louis Vuitton. This is his name now.
It's true. It's
I'm
his
wondering
name,
if I
just-
can run back there and like grab them and have them come help us.
It would be possible, but depending on how quickly the situation escalates, it'll be because like each round of battle is like 6 seconds.
So I'll take it as well.
So it might take a while if somebody initiates because that'll go down pretty fast.
That's why I'm trying to get close, just in case. So
Um,
we're not in trouble. And the lady doesn't get in trouble.
Well, right now I'm safe because whatever you can do. Well, no, we know the orb protects against amulet thingies, but not normal caster things. Okay.
While in stealth, I'm gonna chug some healing potions.
Okay.
Let's do that. Right?
And now you're still kind of by the gate. So give me a Constitution saving throw. Or Strength saving throw, sorry.
Right. Okay.
Minus
Oh,
3.
what's
No,
that?
just kidding.
Hello.
Pizza is alive.
Great. I'll meet you on the corner.
Great. My strength saving throw
Thank you. I'll see you in the
-2.
corner.
So-
One
I was
second.
close.
Thank you.
I was close.
And so 2 minus 2 is 0.
Wow.
So you all, once the orb has walked away from you, you suddenly feel a very strong tug against your neck, and your feet start sliding forward. And you hear a voice in your head that says, "Sir, I must join my brethren. They are searching for me."
I grab him.
Okay, strength check, and then
Are
you
we all
can try to
together?
negotiate
Yeah,
with.
I think you guys are all on here.
Okay, I'll
And-
grab his other leg.
Yeah.
And
arm,
I'll
whatever.
be like,
Both, and then you can get advantage because she's assisting you.
and while they're rolling, I'll be like, guys,
Or you can both roll
Guys,
the higher of the two.
I
if you
need
want.
14.
Wait,
All right.
You get advantage,
Roll
so you
twice.
can roll again.
I get advantage? Why do I get advantage?
Because
She's
she's
helping you.
Oh.
Or she can roll the other one too if it's more
Still
fun
14.
that way. Okay. So you are able to kind of arrest his forward momentum, but
Let
it
me
is
talk to this
technical.
guy.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So, look, I want the same things as you. I've already been able to bring 2 of you together. I would love nothing more than to bring all 3 of you together, or however many there are. But if you force yourself in a situation, no good will come of this. Just trust me, I've done well by you so far. I've fed you when you've asked. I've brought you to your brother. I have another one coming our direction. Just cool it. Calm down. Let me handle this. I know what I'm doing.
So, he will be definitely trying to insight check you.
But the thing is, I'm not trying to deceive him.
So you really will help them all join together.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Alright.
I could still try to, if he wants insight checking, I can roll deception.
You can roll persuasion then.
Persuasion.
Yeah, that would be the other one.
Can I steal a plate from you?
Yes, they're up in the that
the
one right
microwave.
above the microwave.
17.
All right, so he says, "If you insist, sir, but the call is quite strong, being so close to my brother, and it is going to be difficult for me to prevent."
I understand. Just hold out a little longer. Obviously, we outnumber them 3 to 1. If there's anyone that's going to bring about the end goal that you desire, it's us. And with your help in this coming altercation, we can make that even quicker for you. So, when the time comes, do your thing, just not towards me.
If you insist, sir.
I do.
And suddenly the pressure on your neck lessens, and even away from the orb, you're able to stabilize yourself, and you find that you feel a tingling field of energy rise up around you at about 30 feet. And he says, "I can hold off my brother's influence for only a short time, sir." Oh, thank you. "I can hold off my brother's influence for a short time, but it will be difficult."
I will try to make this as quick as possible. Just know that I am your best shot at getting what you
Thank
want.
you. You are a lifesaver. I mean, I did just have in and out, but you know,
It was protein style.
who needs to be healthy?
It was protein style.
Makes it fun.
Yeah. Thank you, Adam. I don't know if you're being sarcastic or honest, but
No.
Some kind of
I've
friendship.
never known
play.
Adam to be sarcastic.
yeah, that's true. He's always a straight shooter, that one. But yeah, so then you feel a 30-foot field, and suddenly everybody who's standing by him, give me a perception check. That's you by Twitch to Switch, and then you should give me a perception check too.
Me?
No, the cleric, Wexley.
Wexley.
I'm not
Wexley.
channeling or concentrating with
9.
the orb, right?
No, you're not. Yeah, 9. Okay.
25.
So you suddenly realize that a kind of cloying pressure suddenly that was like weighing on you that you hadn't realized was started to mount suddenly lessens, and you're able to breathe a little easier than you felt before, and you're not really sure why.
What's that? What did you do?
Did you feel it too?
No, you have been within range of the orb.
Okay.
Spoilers. Yeah, you don't feel any difference.
I feel wonderful.
Yeah. So you see him, Silas, begin to levitate down, and and he's getting up in Salam's face, and they're
Salami?
huh?
Salami?
Salami's face, yeah. And he says, even if you don't have it, I will find out who does from you, my darling. And he's going to roll an attack on her. And you see her skin and her pallor, like it's lessened through the influence of the orb, but you see her eyes just grow heavier and kind of like bags darken beneath her eyes, and her like figure almost grows more stooped. And she waves her hand and kind of straightens up and restores herself a little bit, but she seems to be rocked forward a little bit.
Are they fighting now?
So they're not in combat yet. They're still doing a very aggressive negotiation.
The RP leading up to the fight.
Yeah.
The role play leading up.
This is Arthas sitting there telling us why he's going to destroy the title with the scourge, right?
Yeah.
For 10 minutes before you get to fight it.
Yeah. I mean, one good use of said time is to position well.
Positioning.
Are there any pillars in this room, or is it just shrubbery?
Mostly just shrubbery.
On the shrubbery.
There are some pillars around the very edge that are kind of supporting the first story, but that is a little ways away.
Yeah.
So they are on the second story?
Yeah, they're at the very far end. He has now descended to the first floor.
Okay. And
And
then
Luvitar is still working his
Luvitar's
way
running
across.
around the second story balcony area.
Am I able to cast True Strike without striking?
What is the description of that spell?
Point a finger at a target and range your magic grants you a brief insight into the target's defenses. On your next turn, you gain advantage on your first attack roll against the target.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That can fly.
I mean,
Yeah.
all you gotta do is point at him.
I just have to point at him and
You gotta give him the finger guns.
give him the finger guns.
How do we get to the second story? Can I like sneak up some stairs?
Yeah, so in the kind of the side quadrants here, there are stairs leading up either way.
I'll sneak up the stairs.
Okay, so so go ahead and give me a con saving throw.
Oh, my
Doesn't count.
Wolves will find vengeance. All right.
Wait, so it's what I rolled and then plus whatever's here, right? So constant plus 2.
Your saving throws.
Okay. So that's an 8.
Um,
Rolling awful.
So as you leave the distance of the space near the person bearing the amulet, twitch, as you walk about 30 feet away from him, look to the bottom of the stairs, suddenly you feel like a heavy weight over your body, and you're going to take 9 points of necrotic damage as your life force slowly drains away.
Good thing I chugged those 2 healing potions.
Maybe you should get out of that area.
Yeah. Alright.
And
Or you should stay next to me.
And as you do, you see Silas's head snap to you, and then he motions for a Luvitar towards where you're hiding.
But she was stealth.
Can I roll a
He
perception?
knew the source of the life. He knew where it was coming
Can
from.
I roll a perception check to see if I notice see him do that? Like, move?
Yeah. I mean, you probably can.
I can.
You guys, I would assume that you all are watching it very closely.
Okay, so I want to.
So you can definitely tell that she's been, at least for general area, they know somebody's there.
I want to get into a position where I'm back from where she is, but within like a 30-foot striking distance of my bow for anything that comes at her general direction.
Okay.
And
I'm just following him.
I want to be towards the towards the outskirts of the room, further away on the further side from where the two of them are.
Okay. So you kind of come over to this side, I'm guessing, with
Yeah.
her.
And I'm not yet on the second floor, right? I'm just at the foot of the stairs.
Yeah, you're at the foot of the stairs, and then they're coming up behind you. But it sounds like you all are staying like beneath like the initial pillars.
Yeah.
And then she may or may not go up,
I'm
which
kinda-
would be within 30 feet.
I'm kind of trying to get like hide around the pillars so that I can see what's happening, but not be out in the open, but be able to come to her defense should I need to.
So, as you do that, you see Silas grow a little bit. Silas's like gaze grow a little bit more, just like unfocused. He doesn't really know where the source of something was. But Iluvatar is still heading down towards that stairway where Silas was pointing.
Did they take damage also?
They did not.
So I
Just
think
her.
because she left my radius.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. I was like,
And then
so
now
he
it
is-
seems like they're a little bit confused because now I'm back in.
Because you moved towards me.
Okay.
Did we get an answer on what his defenses were after Tree
Oh.
Strike?
We have not.
Since you're from-
What does that say? Does it like? Does it give you armor coefficient and stuff?
No, he's not.
In general, will tell you if they're like have an elemental affinity that they're weak against,
The resistance or something?
or
Okay.
if they resistance to piercing or bludgeoning.
It has no saving throw for him or anything like that, I think.
So you discover that he is resistant to. Right now, he's resistant to. He's actually immune to fire, and he is immune to water damage.
And immune to all forms of physical damage.
Right.
So,
Good luck.
big
Throw
old
that
Yeah.
ice and electricity at
well,
it.
see you later.
Yes, we won't know this until we
Yeah.
have a chance to tell us.
Yeah, so we have no idea. You're the one
Yeah.
who knows this.
Yeah, he's immune to water, and he's resistant to all elemental damage.
So physical damage it is.
Cool.
Alright.
Cool.
But I don't know that yet.
That's great. I'm so glad I'm
Yeah.
the one closest to him.
It's not like you have any other type of damage anyway, sweetheart.
I know. That's all I'm good for.
Yeah, cute.
That's all
But
I'm
you're-
good for.
you're
I'm
an
a
ex.
tank, guys. I'm a tank.
Sorry, in
So
this, does
excellent.
magical damage count as elemental damage?
No, it doesn't. Elemental is water, fire, earth, everything else.
Wow, this is an actual enemy from the book, not just one Jeffrey made up. This is big league stuff, guys.
By the way, 2 slices of pizza
and-
left. If anybody wants it, up for grabs.
Beautiful. I may, if nobody else has it, I might take it up
Yeah.
eventually. But I'm actually pretty full. But he's also conditionally immune to being charmed, frightened, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, and restrained.
The fuck
You
is
clearly
this
don't
guy?
know how charming I am.
Prone?
but-
You can't be prone?
Wait,
Can't even do it.
conditionally?
I can't
lay down.
I can't knock his ass down.
What is conditionally immune?
He's like one of those
Like a
toys
conditional,
that,
like
Right now.
conditions.
There,
Like,
there's
can't get
something giving it to him, and he could potentially lose it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Right
can't
now,
be
that's how he is.
poisoned, frightened, like
It's
those types of
probably the
conditions.
amulet, guys. Let's be real. It's probably the amulet.
I wonder if I'm conditionally immune to being prone, poison, confused,
You
sleep.
could point at him.
Let's try and knock you over.
Or you can ask your friends.
You should
Lexi,
ask your
Lexi,
amulet.
knock me over, quick.
Punch me. Hit me. You just magically like
But
float in the
only
air.
I know this, right?
Yeah, only
Yeah.
you know that for sure.
Yeah. Only you know this.
You should ask the amulet to kill that dude.
What's that?
You should see if the amulet will kill him. And then we'll know if he has an amulet.
Could do so.
Just a thought, just a thought. Obviously, I'm too far away to actually say that to you.
Oh no,
so.
I'll keep that suggestion in my back pocket for,
Yeah.
for when it's looking dicey if I need to make a great escape. I feel like these guys are only going to grant me one favor here without me sacrificing one of you guys, so I need to see who's the closest to death at the time I need to sacrifice someone.
Before we're in combat of any sort, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Cure Wounds on myself.
You gotta touch
Okay,
yourself.
smart.
Just touch myself.
Ah.
Touch myself in the corner.
At least you had the decency to walk in front of the stairs before you did that.
I make sure Lugatar sees me
Yeah.
touching myself.
Clearly.
Oh, did you make him see? No. Okay, I was like, you're gonna lose stealth?
After seeing that, it's more like lube guitar.
Hey! Soul. Band. Have a nice day.
And out of spell slots.
Did that song? I don't know. I just always think of that scene in Austin
Austin Powers, yeah.
Yeah. With the fembots. Oh no, that's different. No, it's when somebody's dancing. Okay, I'm trying to see that now.
A lot of vagina.
Yeah, I can't remember.
She was the classic Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Did you know they're making another one?
What? Oh man, I'm so excited. I hope it's good.
This is on the top.
Who's in another Austin Powers? Who's starring you?
All I saw was the headline on Reddit, so I didn't
Okay.
read the actual article.
Well, that's exciting.
He's a little old at this point, I think.
But I wouldn't put it past him to do it anyway.
You know what would be good is Taron Egerton.
I don't
No.
know.
Oh, he's easy.
It could be
See.
fun.
Oh yeah, he would be good.
He would make a good one.
He'd be good.
Fox also has a
I have
crush
a crush on
on
him.
him.
I mean,
He's cute. He's
it makes sense. Just let him play all of the
Is it
Bond parodies.
I was looking at the movie. I
I
didn't
hope
see
so.
it.
Or maybe it's this weekend.
Which one?
It might be this
He's in
weekend.
Robin Hood, but he's saying it's out. But
It might be this weekend.
Well, they also have that
The
new.
new Harry Potter one's out this weekend.
Oh, we
Yeah.
saw that.
Is that? I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it was better than I thought it. Than I read in some reviews that it was.
Yeah.
Got it.
It wasn't perfect, but
I mean, I'm sure.
It was entertaining.
I'm
It
gonna
was-
see it either way.
yeah,
so-
it was like it was
Yeah.
definitely like okay. I felt like immersed in the world. I enjoyed just like being in the world, and it was better than I thought. It had some flaws, but overall, I was like, oh, it's better than I expected.
Indeed. All right, so Iluvatar is still approaching the zone you three are standing in.
Okay.
So you probably have about maybe like 30 seconds to kind of figure out what you want to do before he arrives.
Do you think we can just murder him once he comes down the stairs? Like really instantly,
try.
or should we hide?
What are you
So
guys?
think-
How are you guys gonna murder him?
I don't wanna say
You
spoilers.
don't have any physical damage.
Well, that's the. It's not Lubitar that has the resistances. It's the other
But
guy.
you
Right?
guys, you
Oh,
guys also
it's the
Also,
other
we
guy?
don't know
also
that.
we don't know that.
Oh, I thought it was
Yeah,
Luke.
but only he knows that. No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
he pointed towards Silas.
Oh, got it. Okay,
Silas
well,
is
that's perfect,
very,
'cause
very heavily
Even if I
resistant.
don't know it, that's who I was gonna attack anyways.
So I'll ask my buddy here. Can you reach out to your brethren for me and let them know that there's two of you here, one of them there. If he just cools it with his powers a little bit, the sooner you guys will all be together.
Ah, but Master, there are two of them there.
Well, it depends. I mean, you can still let them know there are two of them there, two of them here. There are 6 of us here and only 2 of them against. The quicker we take them out, the quicker you come together. And if you just tell them to stand down even slightly, we'll have plenty of time to put you guys in
Okay,
connection
so
with each other.
he anticipates the fact that you will probably want to say something. He says, "Sir, if I notify my brethren of your presence there, current employer will be aware of your presence, and sir, he is quite a bit more experienced in dealing with my brethren than you are, and they are most likely much better fed, sir."
But, as I said, there's strength in numbers. Remember that.
Of course, sir. Would you
So
still care for me?
are you saying
I'm
are you
cautioning
saying
you against
that you are
warning
going
that there are
to
6 here.
Are you saying that you are going to bow down to your brethren as obviously the lesser of the 4 of you?
So we can protect, but it will be difficult for someone whose mystical strength is already in very tight sync with our brethren. So
Then, do each of them have one, or just one of them have 2?
one of them has 2, I believe. So
The one that doesn't have one, eat them.
of course, sir. Iluvatar suddenly jerks up straight
Nice.
because he is not within 30 feet of his master, and he crumbles to dust.
Nice.
Oh, that's the.
You're
Good
welcome.
read. I was wondering if you guys would pick up on him not
How's your
being
brother?
close.
Oh, I don't
But
care, fuck him.
Yeah.
the transfer of power, the transfer of power as
Night
Iluvatar's
Night
bones are
Butterfly.
clattering down the stairs. Immediately,
I'll sing it later.
Silas's
for his
eyes
corpse.
fix on you, and he looks at the pillar where you're standing, and he says, "Ah," to Salam. "So you did bring me the amulets after all." And he starts levitating towards you across the
So
grass.
Right,
So
I
you,
see. So we're
so you
just
all
putting this way?
can either roll initiative, or you can try to negotiate or figure something out. That is your call, but you have maybe 15-20 seconds to figure that out.
before he gets to me, is it 15-20 seconds?
No, he's floating
No, like
towards.
15-20 real-time seconds to figure out what you guys want to do, because he's coming at you right now.
I immediately cast mirror image.
Okay, so...
On I'll just like,
Shazam.
there, you got what you wanted. You're well fed. There's one of him and 6 of us. Tell your brothers to stand down.
Okay, so he says, well, sir, they are not exactly operating on their own will, as we were, but we can, how does one say, give them a run for their money, and you feel...
Come on,
Yeah.
give me a quick number crunch. What you got here?
And you feel the crackling power kind of emerge as Iluvatar's life force rolls into your amulet, and you feel your feet just levitate just 2 inches off the ground.
So now I'm still a foot shorter than everybody else.
Yeah, you're still a foot shorter than everybody
You're a
else.
little closer.
But you can now cast Peal of Thunder.
Damn right I
Which
can.
Oh, and
is
he won't be resistant to it. Oh no, elemental resistant. But yeah.
you can it makes a very loud noise, but each creature within it. Yeah, and that's it.
It makes a lot
It
of
scares small woodland creatures.
He's
My
gonna
dog is
take
scared.
so any creature within any creature who is an enemy that's within 30 feet of you, so you can be selective, will take 1d10 thunder damage, and you have 2 charges. Or sorry, not 1d10. Sorry, 10d10.
Whoa.
It's a little bit of a difference.
Yeah.
So I'm
Potato,
gonna.
potato.
Can I stealth just kind of head back that direction so that I'm closer to the team?
Yes, and you have 2. Did I take 2 or 3? 2 charges. Yeah, that's right.
I'm
And
just gonna head kind of in their direction, stealthily still.
yes. So you start creeping towards them. You can
So
reroll
then I-
your stealth.
Oh.
Because
Plus
you're
10,
moving.
right?
Well, actually, yeah, plus 10. You still have a mark, but you guys are moving. Yeah, that'll play. That'll be fine.
26.
That'll
Okay.
be fine. So you get across. You kind of get close to them, and as you pass between the space, you feel kind of that heaviness and that cloying kind of just sense of exhaustion wash over you.
I
But
throw
once you
up.
get back within, yes, you throw up successfully.
Stealthily.
Yeah. But then once you get within range of Twitchy Switch, you feel that pain lessen suddenly. Okay, so now...
Hug him.
I resist.
Yeah. So now Silas
he's-
comes up to you and says,
Floating?
the current bearer, I will...
Well, Silas is dead.
Huh?
No,
No,
Silas-
Iluvatar's dead.
Iluvatar's dead.
Iluvatar's dead, yeah. The current bearer, I can make this a very simple choice for you. Give me the amulet,
Where is he?
and he's maybe about 10 feet,
Is
20
he,
feet away from...
Like here?
from him.
Is he on this side? This side?
Oh yeah, he's going towards that place where everyone's trying to go
Yeah, but did he
upstairs.
go this way or did he go this way?
He's coming through directly here.
Okay.
And this is the chick. She's still here. Let me see if I can just get you guys. I'm gonna use your.
No, that's Adam.
I'm gonna use your bronze dice.
Oh, there's my dice.
Yeah, you
I
left them
forgot I
here.
gave them to you. Okay.
I'm gonna use your bronze dice because they're a little bit easier to see. And then you guys can roll those. So I'm gonna say that's kind of the group. Most of the party is here. There's you, and you're standing by the lady, and the guy is walking his way over here.
Then I'm
So you guys did D20.
right
Yeah,
here now.
and you're right there. That's right.
Stealthed.
Yeah, that's right.
So he just asked him a question that I assume we all hear.
Yes, so he says, now, I can make this quite simple for you. Give me the amulet, and you will live.
And then I'll come out from behind the pillar, and I'll say the exact same thing back to him. I can make this quite simple for you. Give me the amulets, and you'll live.
And he says, one does love to see the confidence of one so young, but listen, boy, I am hundreds of years old. I have studied, I understand these amulets in a way that you couldn't fathom. I understand their true purpose. And as you hear him say those words, like even your amulet kind of like resonates with almost like just passion almost.
And I'll say, I'm sorry, were you saying something? I was distracted by all of my allies in the room.
Point to us.
Oh, I did. I 100% did.
I brought
But which ones are left?
Especially Dexter?
And he raises his hand, and suddenly you all feel a heavy weight. But those who are standing close to either you, or you, which I think you all
I
are
think everyone.
going to take reduced damage.
Okay, great.
Okay, so you're only going to take 1. That didn't go so well.
Even in the orb.
Yeah, even in the orb, you're going to take. It was half damage, so it was just a very simple. So yeah, everyone kind of leans forward for a second, but he says, "Ah, how excellent! This may even be interesting." And he turns to you and says, "Final call, boy."
I say, I'll have you know that I'm well over 100 years old myself, and I've known my way around plenty of fight. You don't intimidate me.
Of course. And he extends out his hand, and 3 kind of gleaming swords start rotating around him, kind of in like a.
And I'll look at everyone else and say, well, I've done my job.
Thank you.
And
Get behind the
good night.
pillars.
And everybody roll initiative.
Solid roll. That's a 6. No, 7. 7.
All right. I get it.
Oh,
Go.
initiative?
Yeah.
Yep.
Pay attention, for God's
Sorry.
sake.
Oh,
We can all agree that Adam's the worst.
Yeah.
Success.
It's like watching basketball or something.
nope,
Sure.
not currently.
Busted.
Texting your wife.
Nope.
above.
Report him. Report him.
So fans.
I mean, you're just bad and strong.
Oh wait,
feels
have
bad.
you considered rolling it better?
Mm.
It's
What'd
like
you
make
roll?
make the numbers be higher.
Gets it.
What did you roll?
Initiative.
At least you got it out of the way now.
I mean, you got a nat 1.
15
Oh,
for me.
17.
15.
12.
7.
Right, you had your character initiative too, right?
Yeah, that one.
7.
Still in that one.
Yeah, so 12.
All right. And then did I get
17.
you? 17. Ooh.
It's bedtime.
28, 29.
And then Paddington.
Oh, is
Paddington's
Paddington
there?
joining the fray?
Unless you want him to retreat.
I think now's the time,
No.
Paddington. I assume
Yeah.
he's perched like
He's nearby. He's at the entrance.
like Batman atop the roof.
Yeah. Just gargoyling it.
Yeah.
Did you send up like a bat signal for him? Does he know what to come?
Yeah.
Never. Okay.
What about his lady friends?
So,
Should you join us?
did he get a lady friend?
I think that's why he stayed at the castle, right?
Oh, that's right.
No, he's there. He's in the fight.
But like his lady friend is inanimate. She's just a normal.
It's
gargoyle.
just a normal
He just
gargoyle.
doesn't know.
Yeah.
the
It's a love
difference.
film.
He
He's
loves
still
how
trying to win
stoic
her
she
over.
is.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first
He's
attack.
shy.
So 2 blurs of steel lash out at you. One of them will hit for 23.
I don't even get a chance to dodge.
Oh,
You
well,
have to hit me
no,
first.
that was
Oh,
the,
not 23.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
does
you
a 20?
take
Does a
50
23
points of
hit?
damage.
Does a
yes,
23 hit?
Immediately.
Does a 13 hit?
No.
Okay. So you're gonna take 13 points of slashing damage, but before you do, you hear a voice in your head that says, "Let us help, Master," and you can cut that in half.
Great.
So you have slashing and piercing resistance.
Is that? Would you round up or round down for half?
Round down. So yeah, you're gonna have immunity to wind damage, and you're gonna have immunity to stone if magic.
Great.
Wow.
But you have not attuned enough to the item to have anything else. And then you're going to have a resistance to slashing and piercing and bludgeoning. Alright, so those 2 attack. You're going to take 7 damage then. And then now it is
6.
on 6, that's right. Now it is on you.
What's your guys' health?
38.
34 out of 52.
31.
31. Are you close to me?
Or 32.
Oh,
No, I'm the furthest from everyone. I'm back here.
But we're right by you. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna run over to you then and do a first level cure wounds. So it's a D plus 4. This is all I'm good for.
True. So you're gonna keep your arm.
First level broke. First base.
Yeah.
First
Okay.
It's actually
so-
renamed all the spells too.
first base
I
land.
didn't do much, so it's just 7.
Seven?
Yeah.
Alright. First base land hands.
And I just stand behind you. You're in between me and.
Smart guy.
Okay, so now it is Paddington's turn.
Paddington.
So I'll have him attack one of the swords. And my mom and dad are coming in a second. Yay. So he's gonna hit. And he is gonna do
Nice job, Paddington.
10, 17.
Nice.
Paddington.
He's doing work.
Purr in his general
Stone
direction.
cold gangster.
Does he understand purring? Can I purr at him?
Yeah, he does. He understands purring. He appreciates it.
Okay.
You hear Stone kind of grumbling and rumbling in response. Okay, so he hits the first sword. You see its blade bend beneath the the weight of a huge just rock sliding into it. And now it is who got the 15? That was Twitchy Switch.
Okay. So they're not in melee range yet, right?
They
Or
the
the
swords
sword
are
guys.
within reach. Silas is maybe about 10 feet away.
Okay.
And he has another sword that's very near to him. So the sword's like moved and struck, whereas he's standing a little further back still.
Okay. So I'm going to use my cunning action
Okay.
or my rogue to disengage,
Okay.
so I don't take the opportunity attack from the sword.
Yeah.
I'm gonna back off 25 feet towards the edge of the room and like
Yeah.
maybe behind a pillar.
Yeah.
And then I want to take a shot at the sword that Paddington was
All right.
in melee range.
So you take a shot at the Paddington attacked sword.
I'm gonna refill cider. Just saying.
Absolutely.
Remind
Is
me
there,
if
is
his
there
mom
enough for a
was
full
food.
second
So
You
round?
have 5 stars.
There should be. You will just need to
Anyone
put
else?
some bourbon in there because it is currently non-alcoholic, but I will put the bourbon
Okay.
or rum. There's that big thing of Myers, so you
Do
can
your
just pour that
kids
in.
want
Just
any?
tumble in the bourbon.
They'll be fine.
Probably not.
Does
I- I'll forgo cider and I'll get some if there's anything
Yeah.
else.
There's beer, wine, everything. So
a
yeah,
23 hit?
a 23 will hit.
Okay. And then so Paddington's in melee with him, right?
You hit
That's
a
right.
you hit a flying sword with an arrow.
Wow.
I'm real good.
That's amazing.
Which bourbon should I use?
I would just do the bullets. This is probably the best one for that.
That
Unless there's
20-year
not enough. In which case, okay, cool.
Let me see where they are.
This is just parked
across the street. We have to take a little break anyways because Mom and Papa want to say hi.
It'll be 19 points of damage when you come back.
Nice.
19
Last cannon.
points,
Last
okay.
cannon. That's our freaking burst DPS over there.
And I rolled a 1 on my damage too, but it's 1 and then plus 4, and now my sneak attack damage rolls are really high.
Wow.
Sneak attack.
Sneak attack. Let me go. Mama and Papa go. Oh, I guess there are no Thanksgiving like that.
Yeah.
You guys doing Thanksgiving with Matt and Sydney.
We're doing it at my house. Yeah, we're having like 15 people over.
It's quite the crew.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
You making Jeff do all the cooking?
No, actually, I'm doing a turkey.
Okay.
It's my first time ever, so I always get a good Alton brown recipe. I'm gonna brine it.
So clearly, the play here is to deep fry it.
I
By
thought
the
about
way,
it.
deep fried turkey is we did it for years. We would deep fry 2
Okay.
turkeys and then oven roast 2, and like it is deep fry is great.
I've never actually had it.
I just hear horror
Yeah,
stories
what's
about
with
houses
it?
burning down.
Because there's a lot of dumb people on this planet.
I heard basically I heard people that like blow things up, or people who try to deep fry a frozen turkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if they put the oil too high and it spills over the sides and they don't turn the flame off.
I
That's a
know,
recipe
I
for
know, I
disaster
know
right
what
there.
I just said. I know what I just said. That there's a lot of dumb people. But after we cooked the turkeys, we would like step like 30 feet back and just grab a bucket of ice and start like playing basketball, like shooting. Whoever can get it in, whenever it hit, it erupts with like everyone's very far back. You know? We deep fried candies and cereals and stuff like that.
And deep fry Oreos.
Yeah, delicious. Some candies don't turn out so well. Peppermint patty was pretty good.
Oh, I can imagine that'd be pretty good.
Is it going?
Yeah.
Hello, these are my princess April. Hi guys, relax.
Hi.
You don't have to take off your shoe though. It's not a strict household.
Hello, it's good to see you. Good to see you too. Hi, how you doing? Good. Jeffrey's apartment looks great. Hey.
Hi, I'm Riley.
Riley, Dave.
Nice
Glad
to meet you.
Hello, Chase.
How are you?
It's great
Good to see you
You guys
again.
are great.
Yeah.
Good.
Here you go, boss.
How's life? It's good. Great, thank God.
Here you go, Padre.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.